Welcome everybody to the next episode of Bounty Hunter Banter, where we are the guys from Bounty Hunter Brewing, where we talk about pop culture, movies, comic books, video games, board games, music, whatever tickles our fancy. Shoot the shit. I'm here with Chris.
Hello.
Pete.
Hello.
And I'm Dan. This is a bit of a first for us, so bear with us throughout this episode. This is our first live stream, Facebook live stream and live recording from the heritage-listed building that holds the Pumphouse in Darling Harbour, Sydney. So, yeah. How was everyone?
Yeah, good, man. So hopefully the video kicks on. We've had a couple of dramas just trying to get it started, but it looks like we're going now. So
new camera, first live stream.
Yeah.
That's it.
First recording. We don't know what we're doing, so...
Well,
no,
we never knew what the fuck we were doing.
Yeah, no, we didn't, but this just goes on in another aspect of it, but we'll get the hang of it. Pete's all over it at the moment, so he'll be controlling the camera. If anybody loves to look at three very handsome, me and Pete, slightly overweight, Chris, slightly anorexic men sitting in a pub drinking beer.
I'm in the shape of my life, Big Dan.
And I'm in shape. Rounds of shape.
Rounds of shape, yeah, okay. And I'm kind of oblong, so we'll go with that. So, yeah, like I said, we're going to be talking about pop culture, movies, and everything like that. But we will also be trying 5 of the beers here on tap. We usually do 4. We're going to do 5 tonight because we have the luxury of having tap beer rather than bottles.
Yeah.
And we're going to go a little bit longer because it's a live stream as well. So we just thought, why not play a little bit longer rather than us sitting in someone's house or my games room or garage or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
So we'll go from there. So we have Hard Yards Brewing from Sydney. We have their Golden Ale at 4.7%. That'll be the first up. We've got Thunderbolt, also from New South Wales, which is a house pour here, Chris?
It is. So the only place that it is available on the planet is Pumphouse. So it's actually brewed by Frenchies.
Yep.
And it's brewed specifically for the Pumphouse based on a ages-old recipe that they've had here. I think they've got 2 actual beer recipes and they're looking at doing another one. But yeah, it's an awesome strong ale.
Cool. That's good. So it's a strong ale, 6.5%. We have, we've got a bit of a New South Wales theme going here tonight.
Yeah.
We also have Four Pines Keller Cherry Coconut Brown Ale at 5.5%. Four Pines is obviously from New South Wales as well. They're over at Manly. We have the Four Pines In-Season IPA, which is 6.3%. It specifically says Northern Hemisphere hops. I don't know what that is. I might do a little bit of Googling when that one comes up. And we have Mountain Goat from Victoria, so the only interstate player tonight. Attack of the Killer Hops, which is a 7.7% IPA to finish the night off with. So pretty good listing, and I'm looking forward to them. I've tried a couple of them before last weekend, so I haven't tried them all, but looking forward to the ones we haven't tried.
The interesting thing about the Four Pines is the in-season. So the reason why you got your Northern Hemisphere hops is because each batch that they do, they use different sets of hops for each series that they run.
Oh, okay. So the in-season IPA is an ongoing.
So it's a seasonal, but every season they...
I can't believe you're educating me on beer.
It's because it should probably also be noted that I've just started some employment here as well. So I'm behind the bar. So I drink everything. And when I saw that it was in season, I was just curious about what it was about. So
we've just had the hop harvest as well, only a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, right.
So there's a lot of fresh hop cones floating around. A lot of the breweries are doing fresh hopped. What they're called wet hops, so they're cones instead of processed pellets.
Yeah.
When I say processed pellets, they're not processed in any way. They just mulched up and pushed through a pelletizer to make it easier to use within the brewery.
Cool.
But a lot of brewers like to get their hands on the wet hops at the first harvest and use them in special seasonal beers at this time of year. So there's a lot of that going around at the moment.
Just to jump in, we've had a comment on Facebook Live. David Arcus wants to know if it's worth getting an Uber. Well, we'll be here for at least
we'll be here for a while, man.
90 minutes.
We'll be recording for 90 minutes and we'll be here for a little bit after.
We'll probably have a couple drinks. Head on down, Dave.
And I'll see you on Tuesday anyway at Anzac Day. So, but no, head on down, Dave. Bring Max with you and we'll have a proper Bavarian in the house as well.
I caught up with Max the other day as well.
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah, which was great to see him again at the SG. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Like,
Exactly.
We're just starting to have a personal conversation now.
I think we've
Sorry to
stalled for
interrupt.
long enough.
Yeah, cool.
So do you want to grab the first one? And
Thank you.
we've decided whoever does the intro is going to do the first topic, so we don't have a little stall in the who's deciding on what's talking about. So It's been 3 or 4 weeks since we recorded last.
Recorded.
I don't even know what day of the week
It's
it
been
is.
3 weeks and
Since we recorded?
2 weeks
Since
2
we
weeks ago
released.
released. So a lot has happened in the last 3 weeks
It
since we
has.
recorded. So I've got a few bits and pieces here that I want to run through. There's been 3 trailers dropped. We can chat about 2 of them now, and one we'll touch on later on. The Stephen King remake, It.
Yes.
The trailer for It dropped. It dropped.
It dropped.
It's confusing.
The last Star Wars: The Last Jedi came out last week, and Thor: Ragnarok came out the week before.
Fuck yeah.
We got an announcement of who is officially playing Cable in Deadpool 2,
Yeah, Josh Brolin,
which
man.
I'm super excited
Yeah,
about. I
hell
love
yeah.
Josh Brolin.
But he's Thanos as well. Like, it's just fucking what the fuck.
If you've never seen it, a movie called Hail Caesar. It's got Josh Brolin in it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
He's the main character, and it's set in old Hollywood, in 50s Hollywood, and he runs one of the movie studios in Hollywood. And it's a black comedy.
Yep.
George Clooney plays the star of the day, who's playing Caesar in the movie that they're filming called Hail Caesar.
I think I've seen bits of that.
Channing
Channing
Tatum. I never get that the right way around.
You lie,
he's in
Dan.
it.
You watch Magic Mike every
Channing
day.
Tatum.
Oh yeah,
I've seen that.
He's in it as well.
Both of them.
Watch.
He's lovely.
You mean Addis forces you to watch it so you can learn some moves?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, okay. But Hail Caesar is great. It's right up the black comedy alley of
cool.
you guys,
Yeah,
and
cool.
it's really worth a watch. Rogue One came out on DVD.
Yes.
We just had Star Wars celebrations, so the week of Star Wars news, and a whole bunch of stuff happened there. We got Rebels trailers. We got a Battlefront 2 trailer.
Yeah.
And the other one that I have of note here is we got the announcement of the Full Throttle remaster for PS4, which I'm
Yes.
super excited about. And Chris looks like he is as well.
I have it.
Oh, it's out, is it?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Last
son of a
night. I'm 69% through already.
Well, it was only a very short game. It was only about a 4-hour game, if I remember from correctly.
Yeah, that's 4 hours if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, but even
Like-
in the end, yeah.
It was the
I'm-
90s. It's a
Yeah, it
long
was the
time
night.
ago to fucking
Yeah,
remember.
Yeah. Oh, I remember playing. I played it all weekend when I first got it on the PC. I loved it.
I still remembered years and years later, and this is before they even re-announced shit. I have the soundtrack from that game because a biker band. I can do that, and people can see me now. A biker band by the name of the Gone Jackals.
They did Legacy.
They
They did the whole thing, did
the
they?
whole soundtrack,
Okay.
man. With the
Because
exception of maybe
Legacy
2
was
songs.
the credits.
That was the
front
intro,
credits.
man.
And that was so good. Having I remember those old games, and Day of Tentacle was the same. Where those Double Fine games where you had a little cutscene and then you had like movie credits.
Yeah.
And the music played over the top of
But
it.
it was
and
fucking
went through
groovy
it.
music, and Full Throttle was one of my favoritist games ever. And
Yeah, me too, I've got to say.
The
Love
soundtrack
that.
itself was just badass, and I have that. I've had that album, and back in the days where I got it through, this is back in dial-up days,
Yeah.
where you have like shitty quality, like fucked MP3s, and like I still
On
listen to
Napster.
it. Yeah, and over the years, the quality has increased until I actually found a proper copy of it, and it's badass.
My first brewery video that I made for the process for the Australian brewery. Actually, I think it's on YouTube. I used Legacy as the song over
serious?
the top of the video.
Awesome.
Yeah, just because
Nice.
it fit really well.
does.
The pacing of that song's great.
Badass song.
Anyway, we have in front of us. We do need to talk about beer as well.
We do.
Yeah, I've already almost finished mine. It's quite good.
We have Hard Yards Golden Ale from Sydney, 4.7%. Do you guys want to? It's a beautiful colour. It's slightly hazy. We have been told we're right at the bottom of the keg here, so it's definitely an unfiltered beer. It's a beautiful golden colour. It's absolutely bang on in colour. These have been sitting out for probably 5 or 10 minutes while we
Yeah.
sorted the camera out. I mean, that head retention is
I know.
fantastic. I mean, that really shows how well it's been brewed. Just because you can tell a bad brew straight away if it sits there and that head dies off straight away. And I mean, Pete's glass has got really good. It's called Belgian lacing. When you can see the rings of the rings of the foam and the actual lacing on the glass itself. So you can tell that the proteins have been really well kept in that product. And do you guys want to give your opinion of the flavour?
For a golden ale, because golden ales I generally tend to find are kind of a bit same across the board. It's super flavoursome. Like it's
high
just
bitterness. Lots of hoppy characters.
I wouldn't say it's too
I wouldn't
bitter.
say it's bitter.
No.
Okay.
I know you're super perceptive to bitterness because it's one of the things that you don't like about beers, but
No, it's not. It's not unpleasantly bitter.
It's smooth
But
as
it does
fuck,
rock
man.
if you roll it over your
smooth
tongue.
as hell. It's got a beautiful malt character to it, but it's got a good fruit character to it, and it's for a golden ale. It's to go to style, and I can do those now too because people can see it. It's too hoppy for the style, but it's perfect for this day and age. I mean, everybody wants more hops and everything and that. So to have a golden ale
But
like
it
that,
isn't too much. It's still
it's not too much.
It's
It's but you can tell there's a lot of hop in there, and it's a really good golden ale. I really enjoyed that.
super sessionable,
and
man.
It was one of the ones that we tried last week when I came up here with my parents, and I really enjoyed it then. So I'm glad we threw it into the listing this week, so we can get it out to some other people, so they can. When they see it, they can try it and come down and try it if they're in the Sydney area.
We have the benefit of having a fourth one there if anyone's keen for.
We know you want it, Chris, but no getting too pissy by the end of the podcast.
No, that's all good.
Because we are live, there's no editing magic going on.
Yeah, that's
here,
right.
So, I mean, we briefly touched on the Josh Brolin as Cable. So, anything you guys have got to say about it or Thor? I've got to say, you guys both know, but Louise, my wife, is terrified of clowns, and obviously Pennywise in the original Stephen King didn't do anything for her.
You're totally watching that.
I'm
pointing to her because she's off camera here.
She made it through the trailer to when he pops up in the drain, a whole 10 seconds into the trailer, and you can see his eyes from a distance. And she almost threw the iPad and gone, fuck it. There is no way. She didn't even finish the trailer. She did not get a second further in it.
I've got to say, I'm impressed that they've managed to make Pennywise scarier than the original.
Yeah.
Because he was a scary fucker. It was good balance. It wasn't overly grotesque.
Yeah.
It was scary by the implication rather than, because these days movies have gone a lot further than they had back then.
Yeah.
So it's probably quite tame in terms of makeup and the rest of it, but he was one scary fucker, and to top that in the same creepy way.
I can't wait till they spider him out and shit. That's going to be hectic.
I don't know if you guys know, but I think, Chris, you've mentioned it before that you've read the Stephen King Dark Tower series.
Yeah, some of them, yeah.
So Louise's family is crazy on the Dark Tower series, so I ended up reading them and looking into a little bit more of what Stephen King did when he wrote, because there's 7 or 8 books in the Dark Tower series.
Everything's intermingled.
All of Stephen King's universe, everything that he writes, is linked to the Dark Tower somehow.
Yep.
So the Pennywise being the spider demon thing from a different dimension, there's actually a spider creature, a person that turns into a spider creature, basically exactly the same as what Pennywise does.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm probably spoilers alerts if younger people haven't seen the original Stephen King It.
Dude, younger people shouldn't be listening to our...
I'm sorry about that, but so that in my mind, I mean, I'm sure I'll pick up a few more links to the Dark Tower when I watch it again. But that's the big link from It through to the Dark Tower series for me. What do you guys think of the Thor Ragnarok?
Well, one thing before we go into that, did you know? And I'm trying to get the specific date at the moment because
it's 20.
I can't get it.
The 27-year mark after
27 years.
The first one was
years
released
after the first one.
Yeah.
And
so he reappears every 27 years in the novel, and they've done
timed
beautifully
it
to re-release it 27 years after the original was made.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I agreed that's.
We appreciate the attention to
the
detail in our movies. We do.
Of that, yeah. So it's a fantastic thing.
There's another movie they've done the same thing with, which is Pirates of the Caribbean, the latest one. because
The new one, yeah.
because Davy Jones appears every 10 years.
Oh, yeah, okay, right, yeah.
He comes to land, and they're doing the same thing with
Disney
the new
fucking
Pirates as
planned
well.
that shit out, man.
Oh, yeah, of course.
They had Johnny Depp signed on after the last one,
Yeah, hell yeah.
which was the prequel to the...
Oh, I
Sequel
don't
to
fucking know.
It was, yeah, anyway.
But Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah.
I
When
spoke
the
to
original
you-
picture that came out of him with short hair, without his hammer...
I gave zero fucks about wanting to see that.
You did. And did the trailer change your mind? They were stills. They were from Empire magazine or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Did seeing the trailer change that opinion?
Yes, it did. Especially the bit when they rock up to the arena, and Thor's introduced to his challenger, and the Hulk comes out, and he does the yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I work with that guy.
I work with that guy, and it's awesome. I'm still the fact that you actually got to see that his hammer got smashed.
Yeah.
In the trailer.
Yeah.
Made a big difference, because I was like, what the fuck's he rocking around with swords and shit for? And it's like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I still
But
don't
you
get
can
the
tell
hair.
a lot of that stuff's early on in the movie.
Yeah.
And I think I agree with the hair. It's a little bit too stylish for someone
He's
that's been
got-
sat down and shaved for a
Yeah.
gladiatorial competition.
He's got designs shaved in the side of his
Oh,
head
I
as
didn't
well.
actually notice that. Yeah, okay.
So it's like, what the fuck, man? But anyway, the armor as well, because I think that the armor that he's worn throughout the movies is, they did a good job of sort of revamping it for an actual costume.
Yeah.
And it looked brilliant. I just think that it's a bit too Russell Crowe sort of gladiator style. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
like it. But I definitely want to see it now, because it looks cool. It looks funny.
It's got everybody's favourite actor in it.
Yeah.
Good old Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It
And
does.
he looks like a bit of a douchebag in it too.
But he's going to be a douchebag. I mean,
he is, but he looks like the Collector, but like
he does actually.
an
yeah.
acid trip version
Yeah.
of Benicio del Toro.
Del Toro,
So
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I don't know.
They throw it in there. That might be related.
Yeah.
Might be,
I love Jeff Goldblum, man. So
yeah, everybody loves Jeff Goldblum.
know.
I don't think anybody dislikes him.
No.
Dave, if you disagree with that, send Pete a message and he'll let us know.
If I happen to be looking at the screen at the time, I'll even notice. Hopefully you guys can hear us loud and clear. Let us know via a comment if you cannot.
What do you reckon, Pete? Are you digging?
I'm looking
he was
forward to
he
it.
was paying too much attention to the camera and
Yeah.
getting shit right. So
Fuck
No,
that.
Yeah.
no, I was listening to the conversation. Fuck yeah.
yeah,
No, I'm very much looking forward to it. It's going to be interesting seeing him. I mean, it's been a while since we've had a Thor movie.
we had that little 5-10 minute clip where was he during Civil War?
Yeah, that was
he's-
hilarious.
that-
He was with Dave, wasn't he?
I'm hoping he's canon.
Team Thor
Yeah.
little clips and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I'm really hoping that's canon, because the humor that was in that seems to be carrying over to
yeah, hell yeah.
Ragnarok.
and he was sitting there at the table with Hulk.
Yeah,
So all the
Bruce Banner.
Bruce
Yeah,
Banner, thank
yeah.
you. Mental blank. It's going to be one of those nights again. So yeah, and to have them both pop up in the trailer too.
Yeah,
I'm very
I'd-
much looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to, from what I've read in terms of the writing behind it.
yeah. Well done there. Why didn't you just drink it out of the glass?
I'm giving some to Pete.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Thanks, Chris. They're planning to give him a bit more airspace with his quips, which
Yeah.
for me makes the
And
actor makes that character
yeah,
real.
Hemsworth delivers that.
He does
perfectly.
and he hasn't had a lot of room in the last Avengers movies that
Yeah,
he
'cause
was
it's
in.
Focused on other titled characters. Yeah.
And it seems to be not taking itself quite as seriously as Thor 2, which was what, Dark World?
Dark World.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Dark
I
World.
think that
Yeah,
was
I enjoyed
awesome,
it too,
though.
but it was a much more serious
yeah.
movie. And Heimdall.
Heimdall.
Heimdall?
Yeah,
But-
with long hair.
Over Hill and over Dale? That guy. He looks
Idris
fucking
Elba.
hardcore with this.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if you ever notice as well, in the other Thor movies, whenever Thor was kicking ass in his own fucking neck of the woods, he was funny as fuck. Like, he was always dropping quips, and it was all fun to
definitely.
him.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
all
Yeah.
it was all a game. But when he came to,
I mean, he's a big
to
drinker
Earth.
in the in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
in
Oh,
the
he's a
games,
mad
in the
pisshead.
comic
And
books.
he's an Aussie as well. Like, everything
it
just
all
fits
works
in.
well.
It
gels. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I'm a bit of a YouTube whore, but there was
Which is really interesting, actually. It's an interesting development.
I sit there on the PlayStation and I just go through things and then look at suggestions of things you've watched. and there's a Thor being a dick, and I forget what it's called, but it's along those lines. And it's Spider-Man. He tries to get out of the house, and Mjolnir is sitting in front of the screen door, and it only opens like an inch, and he can't get open the screen door. And then there's a whole bunch of things like that. Like I think in the
Get off your phone, Pete.
The Team Thor was. Someone's trying to vacuum and isn't Mjolnir in the middle of the room and he's got to vacuum around it.
I've seen that.
Yeah, just things like that.
I haven't seen those videos.
Yeah.
I'll have to go and look for them.
I'll see if I can find it. It was really funny. It went from 4 or 5 minutes and with it in a whole bunch of different situations.
Yeah,
it was really funny.
Other previews wise though.
Other previews. Oh, the other one was The Last Jedi, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later on.
We'll be joining up with Phil, who's one of the managers at Pumphouse, who will be joining us at some point. We'll have a chat.
Trailer that I saw, and you'd mentioned it years ago that you'd watched the anime of it, and I think even read the manga, Death Note.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. That trailer looks really good.
It's on my list. It is going to be fucking badass.
A Netflix original movie, and it doesn't come out till 25th of August. But it looks really good.
Yeah, I've got the... do you
want to give him the wave for the next beer?
The wave for the next beer? Yeah, can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know anything about Death Note? Sorry, I didn't realise he was going to have to get up and do that sort of thing.
And now he's whistling at the barman. He's going to have a spit of Chino.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it. Chris will be able to fill us in on the actual details of it all. But... do you, now that you're back, I was just feeling dead airspace.
Yeah, I was listening to you.
Do you know the story of it?
Yeah. So I've got East and I released a couple of movies. There was 2 movies, live action movies, and they were based on the anime. But basically, and I won't give the whole fucking rundown. So, kid comes across a notebook. And there's some instructions in the notebook that basically along the lines of you write the name of a person and the way they will die in this book, and they will die.
Oh, wow.
So
I'm glad that I've never had access to this book.
Well, that's why the Death Note.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And the idea
thank you for pointing that out there.
There's an overwatching demon that sort of pops in and out and sort of is attached to the book, and this kid decides once he sort of starts to learn how to use it, that he starts killing criminals that he's seeing on TV, because you can't just randomly go Dan Shaw,
you have to
death by AIDS or whatever the case is.
Thanks for that.
And, if you can't visualize or see them or know who that person is, so it prevents accidents, I guess, accidental deaths,
randoms.
So what happens is he starts watching TV.
The guy
and
flying the plane that's going over my house right now.
Yeah, all of that shit. And then what happens is there's a detective that's brought in, a special detective that's brought in, and it's basically a cop chase show in the end, but with a real supernatural element to it, and these demons that exist that enjoy eating red apples. But again, that's
one of those crazy Japanese aspects to it.
Thank you, Phil. Cheers, man.
Thunderbolt, strong ale?
Indeed, it is.
Excellent.
Yep. Indeed, it is.
The next one we have here is one of the house beers here. It's the Thunderbolt Strong Ale, 6.5%.
Thank you, sir.
From New South Wales. So
this is good.
That's kind of my little intro. I do have more stuff on here, but I'm not going to take over the whole thing. So.
Talking about trailers, I can't believe you missed out on Alien Covenant. Because there was an extended trailer released not too long ago.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched any more since the couple that came out in March or something.
I can't wait for that movie.
There's a little 5 or 10 minute pre-movie as well.
Is there?
Yeah. I haven't watched it yet. I keep meaning to do it, but it focuses on all the couples that are going off on the.
On the new ship that's not the Nostromo?
No, it's the
Not-Nostromo.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Episode title. Not-Nostromo. What is it? I keep going to say Generation Ship, but that's from The Expanse. They're a settlement. They're a settlement ship. They're a colonization.
Yeah.
They're a colonization ship. They're not a. So it's taken a little bit of a different turn from the explorers or the sort of picked a different style of ship from the explorers in Prometheus or the Marines in Alien 2 to the Nostromo, which were the freighters.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they've
which is
picked
pretty cool.
They've picked a different thing for a new generation of people to introduce to Alien. So I think that's a pretty good way to go. So
I reckon it's going to be badass, man. I can't wait to see it because it looks like they're going back to their sort of more thriller horror roots rather than just balls out action.
But with the advancements of 21st century filmmaking techniques of watching that xenomorph headbutt the windscreen of the shuttle, things like that. I mean, they would never have been able to do that back when the
and even some of the
original was made.
scenes that I've seen in the trailer, the shower scene where the xenomorph comes up and what looks, and it doesn't show you too much in the trailer, but it looks like he comes up behind the dude while he's banging his missus in the shower and punches through him.
Yeah.
It reminds me so much of the original. It was a horror movie before it was a sci-fi movie.
Oh, definitely.
Before they made parts 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, it was a fucking horror movie.
Yeah.
Uber suspenseful, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like they've gone right back to that, so I'm totally looking forward to that.
So we've got here the Thunderbolt Strong Ale. This is really. I'll see what you guys get from this, because it's
There's something in it.
It's really peaty. So if you get your scotches and things like that have
which I've started to get
peat,
into now,
so it's got those peat aspects to it, so it's really peaty.
You can taste the alcohol.
Yes, but it's a strong ale. So
a lot of what we've been trying lately, they mask the alcohol and they go out of their way to mask it.
Yeah, so they mask it with like enormous amounts of hops and everything like that. Traditionally, strong ales don't have that over the top.
It's quite nice.
Hop character. Yeah, so quite low bitterness.
Yeah,
I get some caramel as well. You get some sort of caramel
they have that focus on the malt side of it, but not a super sweet side to it. It's a lot thinner than what I expected, so you don't have that residual sugar there. But it does really have that really strong peat character to it. But
can we just cut in and just say, Suey, we love you too, mate.
Well, we have some people watching. At least you can tell us if it's working. And Pete can do some little things with his fandangled camera and zoom in on people, and you guys can...
Well, you know what? I should take this opportunity to say thank you very much for my birthday present. That was the camera. To my wife and you fellas, and
welcome,
Addis
Peter
and Louise.
Yeah, well, we know you're a gearhead, and it's one of those guilty gifts because it benefits us as well. But it just gives you more shit to play around with.
It does. It distracts me.
Yeah.
Can we jumping into another topic?
Yeah,
you got something
go
to
for it.
jump?
No. I'm not going to take over. I've got something for after midway section, and then go from there.
Do we want to talk about Legion?
Yeah, go on.
I've been chomping at the bit.
I've been waiting. You've mentioned it like every podcast,
Last one,
and it just gets...
I wasn't up to date.
I can't even remember what it's about.
You weren't up to date. Okay.
I wasn't up to date on the last
Spoil
one.
the hell of it.
No, we won't so much spoil it. It's just to talk about it. What Chris expected to happen was he'd wake up at the end and it'd all be in his head, and that might still happen in season 2, but that's not how season 1 ended. But just overall, it is one of the best written TV series that wasn't on Netflix I've seen in a long fucking time.
Oh, that's good. It's on... Who did produce it? What network did produce it? Because I know it's now on the PlayStation Network. You can actually get the entire season on the PlayStation
Network. Yes, you
Network.
could. And you've been able to for a while it was still airing.
Okay.
So I'm not
We've
sure.
been watching it on Foxtel Play on the PlayStation, so it's got to be...
me too.
It's got to be linked through. It's got to be linked to Showtime or something like that.
It might be a HBO because there's a lot of HBO stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pull up the chair, sir.
Oh, okay. We're that far through already,
So
are we?
while
No,
Phil
sit,
gets
please.
set up, Dan can help him get set up. Is this the...
It's all up and going. We've
Is
tested
this the
it. so-
conical thing that what Pete was talking about where
I
you
think
had
so.
to...
Do you want to...
Basically, the mic
Hello.
operates by talking into it. Chris still hasn't mastered that yet.
Yeah, fuck
we
you.
hope one day.
So I think you've got to talk fairly close to it. So,
just get close.
so
Move
guys,
anything around.
This is Phil. You
Phil's
can-
one of the managers here
we,
at
we do
the
have
Pumphouse,
people
at the
watching
venue.
live.
How you doing?
Hey guys, how you going?
So Phil, you started here how long ago?
Geez, I've been here for about 3 months now, so
Okay.
January time.
Yep.
think I met you guys pretty much my first week.
Yeah, I think it was
Really
almost
having
your
beers,
first shift or somewhere through there. It was
pretty
definitely
early days.
Yeah. So
No, it's been awesome though. I've had a great time here. We're changing quite a lot, and trying to bring this place, back to its former glory, I guess.
yeah, and Chris mentioned it to me just before we started. It's actually a heritage listed building.
Yeah, correct.
So like 100 years old.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah. So this place has been around for a really long time,
cut
and
to
was
a-
a brewery before.
Yeah.
Brewery and tavern. So the beer you guys are drinking at the moment is our own beer. Don't know
Yeah,
how
yeah,
much
oh,
you guys
wow.
have spoke about it yet, but
Yeah,
Well,
we've already
we
been-
actually
we've
we
been
gave the
through it.
report, so it's the
Oh,
only
yeah, and you
it's
mentioned
the
you-
only place on the planet that you can
That's
actually
it.
get it as well.
So it used to actually be brewed in here.
Yep.
But obviously it's not a brewery anymore,
Yeah.
just bar and part of the hotel.
With some heavy duty steel girders sitting
Yeah.
right above
Awesome.
our heads.
It's an
which is-
awesome
all the
looking
walls
venue,
as well,
though.
obviously, are original.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
outside-
so all of this is
Yeah.
all the
it's all
original.
part of it. You can't touch it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
good.
oh, that's a fantastic setting for the bar. Then is
Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, people build modern bars to look like this, and
Yeah,
you
we got
guys-
lucky.
You've got the history behind it as well. So, so we're waiting for you to sit down because you're a bit of a Star Wars man as well.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we can now talk about
there
Star Wars celebrations.
Conveniently happens to be a fourth one there as well, if you're interested.
I'll have a little sip.
So we just finished Star Wars Celebration, the week of a whole bunch of panels and trailers and stuff, and we got I guess it's a teaser trailer. It
Yeah.
wasn't really that long for
It
The
was-
Last Jedi.
It was a teaser, and in Star Wars tradition, it told you absolutely fucking nothing about what's going to happen.
and I'm happy about that.
Yeah,
I mean,
me
it
too.
Didn't, it didn't give anything too far away.
It's the same for Rogue One though. The same shit in Rogue One. They didn't lay too much stuff out. So
It wasn't a Guardians of the Galaxy
couldn't
trailer
jump.
where all the good jokes and all the action are in the
Yeah.
fucking
Oh,
trailer, and
but
you don't need to watch the movie.
The director of Guardians of the Galaxies came out and said those trailers are from the first 30 minutes
right.
of the film. So he's
Of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, right.
which comes out Monday or something. Next
Monday,
week.
6:30 p.m.
Yeah. So
Nice.
I mean, nothing has been given away in Guardians
Yeah,
yet. We haven't
good.
seen.
I've gone out of my way
And
not to
out-
watch any fucking
Yeah,
trailers.
me too. Nothing more that's come out as I've watched. So
have you seen? Have
Yeah,
you
look,
seen The Last Jedi?
Look, I got really excited because I got a message saying that the teaser or the trailer was out, and I clicked on the wrong thing. It was obviously a fan-made one.
And it was a
And
porn.
I got
Oh,
really
no.
excited. I actually just got really excited because I saw this fan-made one. I'm like, this is amazing. This is incredible. I'm texting my brother like, man, you got to see this. And then about 4 or 5 hours later, I
penny
was
dropped.
at home, and no, it was like a breakdown of the trailer. Like
Yeah,
someone had
yeah,
done,
yep.
what we think of every little
is that
second
the
of it.
Is that the Aussie
And I
guy?
I can't remember, to be
You know,
honest. I
Aussie Man
started
is
looking at it.
it's the only acceptable fucking trailer
Mr.
breakdown.
Sunday Movies.
Yeah.
yeah. And he
Yeah.
is part of the reason why we do this
Oh,
podcast.
and
because
I don't
Aussie
know what
Man
you're talking about.
Oh,
Yeah, I have no
Aussie Man.
idea.
Oh, is
Aussie
it?
Man reviews.
Okay,
He's-
I haven't seen him.
I don't know who that is.
Anyway,
But the penny dropped. Started watching, a couple of minutes of it. I'm like, what have I watched? This is nothing. I don't remember any of this. I had to rewatch it. I'm like, nah, I've never seen this. So the other one was actually better.
You've
Yeah.
seen it now.
I have seen it
Yes,
now. Yeah,
good.
I'm very excited. Can't wait.
Yeah, I think it looks great. I mean, they haven't given anything away, and it was enough for us all to go.
Fuck yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Can't wait for
fantastic.
Christmas.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And for someone who doesn't really like Christmas all that much, it's my Christmas present.
Oh, Louise,
That's something to look
Louise
forward
is
to.
absolutely stoked every year, and she's going to be heartbroken next year when Han Solo movie comes out halfway through the year.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
no December Star Wars movie to go to on her birthday.
Oh, there'll be Lord of the Rings 37 by then anyway.
Yeah,
It's all
something like
good.
that.
It's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
a Christmas release too.
So I mean, we saw a lot of Rey training, or mostly Rey training. We
Yeah.
saw glimpses of Kylo Ren, Finn in a Bacta suit, and then there's
Which
been
isn't surprising.
no. We still didn't see much of Luke. We've seen him in
Just in the cave saying it's time for the Jedi to end. Although there was an interesting article that in French cinemas they had translated it into French, and I can't remember. I should have written it down because I'm useless without
don't-
writing it down.
Yeah, we should write a lot of things down.
So in French it didn't quite translate out to infer that it's time for the Jedi to end, which is how most Australian audiences
What did
or
it
English-speaking
translate to,
audiences-
Peter?
I don't want to know that.
Thank you. I just said I didn't fucking know because I didn't write it down.
What's the fucking point of mentioning that at all?
To cast aspersions on the
Right, on the French.
on the idea that Luke is essentially saying the Jedi Order is over. That's it. Because that's how I interpreted what he said in English.
And I did too, and that kind of really got me for that, because I'd love for them to ditch that whole dogmatic
well, it's
idea
clearly,
of it.
It's clearly moving away from the canon. Have you read any of the...
Yeah, no, what I think, because obviously the first one, there was all those parallels that everyone drew to A New Hope, and then the start of this trailer, it was kind of with him in the suit, Ray and his thing, the stable and all that. It kind of looked like it was going to be almost mirroring the second one as well.
Empire,
but I think they're actually going to kind of go away from that.
So.
Yeah, with the whole... it's got to be...
I like that they aligned, or they juxtaposed against A New Hope.
So do I.
To establish we're here.
It was a little too heavy.
It's slightly different.
But it works,
It's pretty similar.
You love the movie.
Oh, I do. Don't get me wrong. I do love
and
it.
It's not like going back to A Phantom Menace where everyone watched it and went, that's not a fucking Star
what
Wars
the hell
movie.
was that?
Yeah. I suppose.
So it's hooked audiences to say we're doing Star Wars, but we're doing it properly this time.
And
Watch
a
the
new
next
generation.
trilogy.
My 9-year-old niece was so disappointed when last year she knew there was another Star Wars movie coming out, and she's like, "Who's Rey going to be? Like, who's she going to be related to?" And then I had to break the news to her that it was Rogue One, not Episode 8.
Which
and
I loved Rogue One too.
And she had to wait another 12 months to find out what the ongoing story was. So it's dragged in a whole new generation of Star Wars fans.
Oh, totally. You see it all the time, like kids running around with Star Wars shirts. Even my son's got a Star Wars shirt. He's only 2. He doesn't know what he's wearing.
Yeah, that's because you're doing your job.
We are. 100%.
That is good parenting right there.
Metallica and Star Wars shirts pretty much his entire wardrobe.
And I mean, there were so many shots of parents doing the same things, or kids making these decisions from Star Wars celebrations, dressed up as. There was a lot of Rey and Finn, and there was little Kylo Rens and everything like that, all at Star Wars Celebration this year. And we even saw a fair few at Oz Comic Con last year as well.
Right.
After Force Awakens. So, so that was really good.
The other Star Wars related news that I wanted to bring up was the we touched on it. Battlefront 2.
Yep.
Now I know you've played your Battlefront, Phil.
Yep, I have.
But I think
not very successsually.
Yeah,
well,
me too.
no, I'm not.
Pete's the only successful multiplayer
Pete's the
shooter
dude that we all run behind.
Good.
Right? But all of the starfighting stuff and the ship combat and stuff, like, we love that.
Can I just say I finally popped open the VR mission for Battlefront.
Oh, how good is it?
And jizzed my pants.
It's amazing.
Seriously. That is what every one of us grew up just wanting to be able to do, is walk up and
I haven't done it yet. I've got to come over and plug in the VR.
Bring tissues.
Hell yeah.
Now it doesn't make me sick.
I don't know if we actually talked about this previously. No, it won't. But you literally, like, I sat there and Addis was watching me. I had the headset on and literally just walking around the X-Wing
for half an hour.
Oh yeah,
and you
for
press
like
all
a
the
half
fucking
hour.
buttons in the
you
cockpit.
You jump in and the targeting computer comes down and just everything that you can flick.
That's really cool.
Yes, you can turn it off. And you trusted the Force too. That's a button.
But
should check it out.
It's awesome. It is so freaking good. But
it's a shame. I found the actual mission was paced really slow.
It was. And it's an experience more than anything else.
Doesn't that hark back to the old TIE Fighter days? You had some escort missions, and from what I know, it's a bit of an escort mission. You,
like
you go
20
back
minutes
to the old.
You're there just fucking flying next
follow
to
follow this, and
I just wanted them to let you off the fucking rails. Go and play in them.
I don't think they were going to. No.
But the second one looks like it's going to have more of that single player aspect.
Well, they've got that whole campaign.
And they're doing space battles.
Hell yeah.
They're doing full-on space battles with Star Destroyers and shit this time around.
I don't want to sit there and have to rely on 40 people, being there and wanting to play, or I hate being the one that sucks the most out of those 40 people that are playing.
That's
it's
not
not
gonna get
fun.
I have 2 screenshots on my PlayStation from my 29 kills in an X-Wing.
Sorry, just because you're bragging, I need to deflate you a little bit. It wasn't a screenshot. It was back in the days before we had an iPhone. You literally took a photograph of your television.
Oh, no. I actually have the screenshots on my PlayStation.
Oh, right.
Yeah. No,
it was with the times.
You're the only human being I've ever met that takes photographs of a TV.
Yeah, but how often do you fuckers check your messages on your PlayStation 4? What the hell is the point in sending it through to the messages on the PlayStation 4?
I use my email. One thing, though, just deviating a bit from Star Wars, is because we got Craft Beer Week coming up as well at some point in the near future.
In Melbourne.
Well, yeah, but I think
Sydney
Pumphouse are doing
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So
is this
we've got Phil,
is
I
this
think,
what you mentioned beforehand?
I don't know. I don't
Do you
the
know
driving?
what we're doing?
driving.
Chris
The
doesn't know what
Mario
he's saying
Kart?
right now.
No.
Oh.
No, this is something else. So this is what the
This
Someone
is
say
Sydney Craft
something.
Beer Week.
I think maybe you want to take over. You want to
We've
take over at
already
this point.
decided
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we're going to be doing. I don't have a whole lot of details. All I can say is we're doing United Beers of America. So we're going to have, it's going to be essentially like a tap takeover with all sorts of craft beers from
Yeah,
the
cool.
States. And we're going to food match it with different types of beer, different types of food. So if it's like a New York-based beer, or something, we'll do like New York pizzas or hot
Yeah,
dogs or something.
cool.
It's going to be
Yep.
pretty cool, like southern, I don't know, beer from the southern states. We'll do some fried
Kentucky
chicken.
Fried
yeah,
Chicken.
There's
yeah.
plenty
I
out
don't
I
there.
don't, like I said, really early days. I don't know how successful it's going to be, but you know, it's
Oh,
going to
that's
be.
cool.
It's interesting, you know.
No, jump on it. It's the Sydney Craft Beer Week. Is how much have you been involved the previous years?
I've never been involved at all.
Last year was the first year that it was, or the first year that I noticed that it really started to take off.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Melbourne one's huge. They've been running it for ages with Gabs involved and everything like that. But Sydney being in September
It's
or
October.
October, late October. Yes, because we launched in October, which was a really dumb thing to do.
like a couple of days before Craft Beer Week.
And then we had to fight with all of the leftover Craft Beer Week taps that we could not get a single tap in Sydney.
Because everyone's
until,
got 6
Christmas
months worth
time.
of beers during Craft Beer Week.
Yeah, we want to avoid that.
Yeah. So last year, a lot more stuff started to happen. There was a lot more public involvement. So get on it and
hell
get
yeah.
it out
It's
there.
gonna be great.
Get the social media stuff going beforehand. And
I think
Like I said, it's such early days. I have no idea where we're even going to get the beers from yet, but
yeah,
I've got a couple of ideas. But yeah, it's going to
Yeah,
be cool.
yeah.
We want to put some really weird and wonderful stuff on there.
the
Yeah.
nice.
Trump Pale Ale. Something with
There's,
a really blonde top.
Yeah,
I
no,
wouldn't be
there's-
surprised if there's
there's
already one out there.
Yeah, Chur.
Oh, yeah, they did
the
too.
Behemoth. They do the Trump IPA.
Yeah, right.
What's it called? You guys keep talking.
I saw the
look it up.
picture of it actually, but no, I can't remember for the life of me what it's bloody called. But May the 4th as well is coming up, which is going to be pretty cool.
Fuck yeah.
There's a bunch of bars in Sydney as well that's doing a bunch of Star Wars beers, Star Wars events, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's midweek, isn't it?
Thursday.
Oh, yeah, good.
It is a Thursday. Yeah.
It is a Thursday, which kind of sucks because, I mean,
That just means you need to take a Friday off
called,
and keep drinking.
Dump the Trump.
dump the
Trump.
Trump.
And they
That's
started
great.
they started doing it during the election cycle, and I think
Yeah, I have
they've
seen
just
that.
kept it going. So it's the little Chur monster, the little
That's cool.
behemoth monster with
Yeah, that's
the
awesome, man.
Donald Trump wig on it. You know. in
What
a
are you
suit.
guys doing for May the 4th?
For May the 4th, very luckily, actually.
We will be jumping around the place, and I would be guessing we're going to have to divide our forces and go to several different venues.
several separate bars, I think.
Because we've had a lot of people call us in the last couple of weeks, and so we've got beers out there. Well, we've got the Solo Contract,
Yeah,
our
nice.
Star Wars beer. We've done the
Couldn't get a better beer to match
the fresh
Which
bag
has-
of
it's been on here as well, which
Yep.
went down pretty well. Oh,
And-
I know. I was coming up here to actually
Drink your own beer.
buy some to drink some because we don't. It doesn't matter if you work for a brewery, you still have to buy your own fucking beer. Brewing company, I should say. But Uncle Hops in Newtown at the Bank Hotel are doing their Golden Lightsaber,
Yep.
their annual Golden Lightsaber. It's their second year. And they've got 10 brewers, and we're talking like Shark Island and Wayward,
Young
and
Henry's, Willie the
Stone and
Boatman.
Wood, yeah, and all these dudes. So
and it's
we-
a public voted
public vote.
Cool.
Winner for the Golden Lightsaber.
which is
so.
going to be amazing. We've just started doing some potentially copyright infringing campaigning on that. We'll
Sorry.
see how that goes. But
Hey,
that's
just
gonna
for
be
the
amazing.
record, I paid for my copy of that iTunes track,
Oh, well, there you go. Oh, you
and
know
now I
what?
can freely distribute it to
Yeah.
anyone on Facebook
it's a
without
parody
paying anymore.
anyway. It's
Yeah.
a parody. We'll
see
go
if
with
it holds up in a court of law. But then you've also got the union on King Street as well in Newtown. I think you're doing a little bit of something as well.
Spinning Goats will be as well.
Yeah,
Jason emailed me the other day.
Netherworld in Brisbane,
Netherworld.
which are a pinball bar. And
do you know about
sick,
Netherworld?
man.
Never heard of it.
It is amazing.
The guys that own Scratch Bar
Okay.
up in Brisbane, they Ben and Kieran and Jimmy, they a year ago. Yeah, do you want to signal down for the next beer?
Yeah. And when you get back, try and talk into the mic, Chris.
Fuck you, Peter.
They decided Ben is a big gamer, so board games, video games, pinball, all that sort of stuff. So they bought an old pub in the Valley, which is King's Cross, basically in Brisbane, and then they spent about a year or more buying up all these old arcade machines and pinball machines. So some of them are like old pinball machines.
Original Donkey Kong
awesome.
machines.
And then some remodeled newer ones in there as well. And they've decked it out with original Donkey Kong, Gallagher, House of the Dead, Metallica pinball, Flash Gordon pinball. There's got to be 20 plus pinball arcade machines in there.
Awesome.
And then they've got these huge bookshelves of board games, card games, and they've.
I'm looking forward to getting up there and fucking hammering into it.
Yeah. So it's a great place. Me and my wife went into there on our holiday, and it's a cool place to go to.
Cool.
So yeah, good fun. So
That's what we need to do, man.
when you're gonna hook up a pinball machine for the
more
Pumphouse.
arcade. Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. We were kind of just quietly discussing that at some point.
You know it's dangerous having Chris work here, right?
Yeah, I know.
It's going to be Chris's pub by the end of it all.
That's fine.
You need a pinball machine in every venue. Sorry, Pete. I know that I'm all over the place.
You fucking...
Yeah.
You're an editor's nightmare.
Thank you, Steve. Cheers.
So how are we going for time, Pete? Looks
I
like
don't know.
We are at the 50th minute.
Oh wow!
Already?
Okay.
Really?
We might leave our plugging until the end and thank yous to everybody till the very end.
Yeah,
and
okay.
shoot it in the end of this one.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one.
One of the things we were going to do mid-episode. I just want to throw it out there. I don't know if this will interest you too much. How much TV series you watch, but what we've decided to do is
No
not
TV.
me. Oh, go on. We'll see.
What Chris decided to do. Thought he was being a funny. I can't swear on this, but he thought he was being
A
funny.
funny C.
You can say everything but C.
I can't drop the C-bomb on this one.
I can edit it out on the
nice and live.
podcast. I can't do it live.
And challenged me to watch the first season of Supergirl.
I don't know what... No, nothing.
Well,
I got nothing.
I'm a
You know
big
who
DC
Superman is?
Yes.
Add vagina.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Supergirl.
I'm with you. I'm following that.
No.
She's his cousin.
Okay.
I'm a big DC Comics fan, but I hate all of the DC TV series because I think they're horrible and cheesy and shit. But I've got to say, I do really enjoy some of the parts of it.
I
Yeah,
fucking
you do.
told you, Chris.
I'm 8 episodes through. I still think she's great
Yeah.
as the character.
She's fucking hot, man.
She plays the persona really well. The special effects.
She is. Don't look at me like that.
I'm not saying not. It's just trust you to make that comment because it was
Do you
going to
wanna-
be
do
either you or
wanna
me.
Pass them out.
She is.
What have you got here?
This is
Oh, that's a good question. I can't remember.
Four Pines.
In-season IPA.
Oh, this is the in-season IPA, is it? Not the... Well, it doesn't look like cherry
Very
coconut brown
resiny.
ale.
Oh, no, it shouldn't be because that was put to the end, Dan.
Oh, yes. I wrote it out wrong. Well, I wrote it out and then I told you. So, this
Correct.
is the Four Pines in-season IPA. 6.3% Northern Hemisphere hops, so American hops. So, nice colour.
Nah, it's
It's
awesome.
got a
man.
really, really hoppy smell to it.
Jesus Christ, it's really bright filtered. Like, it's super, super bright.
It's good,
Oh,
man.
wow.
This is
Yeah.
one of my
It's like
favorites.
chewing on a hop cone.
This and Attack
Attack.
on the bar at the moment. I absolutely love
good.
those beers, man.
Wow, that's
do you think?
really, really hoppy, really
you
resiny.
wait.
And,
You wait till you get to the Attack.
yeah.
This is nothing.
See, that's got that real green hop character to it. That would not surprise me if that was fresh hop cones from
Yeah.
the New Harvest. Yeah.
But that's the thing. Their big thing on their website was that
Is this isn't the cellar door one, is it?
No. No, the Keller doors at the end. The big thing on the website is they were talking about how the IPAs, because of storage, you kind of tend to lose a lot of the dankness. You just turn me up, Pete.
Yeah, because you're fucking useless.
Thanks, man. Look, I don't want to give my fucking mic a blowjob, yeah?
No, you should be treating it like you're whispering into someone's ear.
Oh, Jesus. So, because the hops deteriorate over time in storage and
hops
stuff
is the
like
first
that,
thing to go.
right? So, it's all about just trying to bring in something new for each season, whatever it is that's available, and try and boost up the hop character and sort of keep it there for as long as they can.
It's good, man. I don't know. Like it's enjoyable to taste the flavor, but I don't know if I could drink too much of it because it is very strong.
It is, but that's the sort of beer that I like. That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. Yeah, it's super clean
It
and
is
just
clean.
really good hop character, and just pretty to look at too. It's like it's so clear, and I'm just messaging the brewer to find out if there's wet hops in the in-season IPA. So just pick up.
Phil, do you make decisions about the beers that are on?
Yeah, all the decisions. So obviously I speak to you guys and different people, Four Pines, Mountain Goat. Pretty much anyone that walks through the door I'll have a chat with and see what they've got on offer. Can lead to some great things, can lead to some interesting
not so great
choices.
Interesting.
But it's all, anything to go on is great, you know. Even if maybe some people don't love it, other people will. We've got a lot of freedom here, and it's awesome. Obviously, we're pretty IPA heavy. Like to go for things like this, and the guys at Four Pines, they're great. They're really, really good with us. And to get
so
stuff
good.
like this,
I know.
it's cool. Hey,
Yeah.
it's a good beer.
But
it's a really good beer.
It's 6.3%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Jesus.
scary, man.
Yeah, this one just killed it. As soon as it came on, not only here, all over Sydney, it went nuts everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, we ordered a couple of kegs of it, and straight away they were messaging me back saying you want to get some more because it's pretty much running out. Like, it's going out the door.
Yeah, okay.
And we have to wait again to the next batch. So yeah.
So it's an ongoing one for them?
No, it's not.
No, okay.
What I've got now I think that's the last keg, and that's all.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
done.
Oh wow.
Which I'll be
Glad we were
really
here to-
disappointed
Well,
about.
Chris, I'm sure Chris can help you get rid of that last last keg.
Definitely.
Well, hopefully he gets back to me by the end of the podcast, and then we can find out.
How do you work out the balance of beers on the bar and even the package stuff? Because you guys have like a shit ton of stuff in the fridges as well. Like, just anything that sort of stands out that catches your eye? Or
Yeah, look, I go about 50-50. So anything that stands out catches my eye, something that's new, that's different, that I've heard about, or it doesn't really matter what style. Obviously, if it's kind of going into winter like now, looking at darker beers and something that's kind of seasonal and makes sense and not going for anything too weird. But then, also, like I said before, just opening to anything that comes through, whether it's sours or whether it's, like the one you're going to try at the end, which is pretty weird. Pretty different.
That's the cherry coconut.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Look, there is no balance. I'll be honest. There's not. I just kind of go with what I think works. And with the bottled beers, definitely there is a balance. Making sure that we've got enough of each different style of beer in the fridge, not going too heavy on one style. But with the taps, not really. No, I just kind of
whatever
play it
takes
by
your
ear.
fancy.
100%. And like I said, put it on tap, see how it goes. If it sells well, like your War Rig, perfect example. If it sells well, man, I just keep getting more of it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So funny you should say that. Does alcohol percentage either way, either slightly lighter or like the War Rig is 8%, like it's well
That's
and
a
truly up
monster.
there. And just looking at what we've got here, we've got a 6.5%, 6.3%, and a 7.7% on tap, as well as our 8%. Obviously, you're not worried about the higher alcohols. How's the lower alcohol side of the spectrum? Would you go? Some of the sours are sort of that 3.5%, 4%. Does that influence?
I tend to go higher. I like the higher percentage beers, and it seems like everyone else does too.
Yeah.
As soon as they come in, if they see something 8 to 10%, people go for it straight away.
Yeah, because it's like, what the fuck is this?
Exactly. It kind of gets a lot more interest.
Yeah, okay.
I think straight away people kind of notice. And, it's just what people are into these days, I think.
Yeah.
I
It's
am.
interesting because there's more and more session IPAs floating around as well.
There is,
which has gone the opposite end of the spectrum. It's a lower alcohol content, so the pubs can sell them shit tons without kicking them out.
Yeah.
And it's the phases that you go through as well. I mean, because
It goes through seasonal cycles.
yeah, but you guys had the Mountain Goat Trip Trap, which was a 10%.
It was
Triple
okay,
IPA.
because you've mentioned that a couple of times,
Oh,
but
love
I
it.
haven't tried the
I
Trip Trap.
love it because I mean, you bring me the
the triple threat.
The triple threat, which is
so we did the Australian Brewery did a collaboration. I've got to separate my hats here. The Australian Brewery did a collab with Chur Brewing, who's behemoth in New Zealand, but Chur Brewing in Australia. We did a collab with them a year ago, so it was released at Gabs, and that was a triple Belgian IPA. So we brewed a standard IPA and then put a whole bunch of Belgian candy sugar in it. We used our Saison yeast, which is a super aggressive Belgian and French Saison yeast, and it actually fermented it out to 10.5%.
10.5%.
Yeah, awesome.
So this thing's a monster of a beer.
I love it.
But it's got no malt or residual sugar to back it up. Like but it's not out of balance or anything like that. I mean, Chris is still drinking them till today.
I think that's what it is. Though. It's all about the balance. Because even with the Trip Trap, it didn't taste like you were having a 10% beer.
You still had that IPA-ness to it, but it wasn't super bitter or super fruity. It was just kind of... It was almost like a standard sort of IPA flavour, but I mean, it was 10%. Like,
just with a kick in the nuts.
I don't know. There was just something very comfortable about drinking it. I don't know how to describe it, but it was just... You could just drink it, man.
To be honest, I didn't get a try. I mean, I'll have to keep an eye out for it and see if there's any
really
still floating around the place. Yeah,
really good, man. Yeah. Highly recommend it. It was a great beer.
Yeah,
and that was a great beer too, by the way.
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah, really.
Which one was that again? No,
that's
was
the in-season IPA from 4 Pints.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
So how are we going for time? Should we bring the next one up?
We're at an hour.
I would.
Yeah, we'd probably have to bring the next one up.
I would hit the next one now. Yeah. Oh, and now it's zoomed back to us.
It has zoomed back to us.
So we're back, are we?
Sorry about that.
You've hit record as well?
I have hit record.
So the downfalls of doing a beer podcast, I guess. The nicotine addicts and the small bladder man.
We've lost 3 of our 5 viewers. That's all right.
Damn.
That's okay.
So unfortunately, Phil had to go back to work. So is he going to sit down with us again, or
I don't know. Maybe not.
Probably join us after.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Okay. Cool.
Later on.
So yeah.
Should we go back to Legion? We were talking about Legion.
Yeah, we were.
Thanks to Phil. Yeah, go for it, and then we'll touch on the challenges. Because I'm keen to hear Chris's comments on Witcher 3.
Well, actually, I don't have too much more to say other than it was one of the best written TV series I've seen in a long time. What are you laughing about?
It was funny.
Why was it
champion.
funny? With more beer.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thanks, man.
Cheers,
man.
I actually ceased to enjoy it as much as what I was.
Why?
Because it was just so fucking drawn out.
You need to talk closer.
Closer? All right. Sorry. It was just really drawn out. The writing, although it's good, is not... It's just not fast. It's just not paced very well for people that are unfamiliar with the concept of what's actually happening. It's super slow. It wasn't until the last episode where you saw Charlie Xavier's wheelchair and the story
Spoilers.
Spoilers, by the way. You saw the fight between him and the Shadow King when the Shadow King was introduced, and that was really fucking cool, and that got me ramped up. But it was the last episode, and for a while I was saying to Addis, it's like, it's just going too long.
Something maybe they should have thrown in about halfway through.
They really should have.
Look, to me...
How many episodes?
8. It was a short run.
Okay.
Short
8
run
episodes.
series.
So it wasn't until the last episode where they finally actually revealed that, and not directly, but he's Charles Xavier's son, because they flashed to, and it was like the movie version of his wheelchair.
It's the prop from the first X-Men.
Yeah.
It's the actual wheelchair.
Yeah. And then it got into the Shadow King, because the parasite that is that has attached itself to Legion is the Shadow King, and he's been inside him the whole time.
Yeah, since he was defeated by Charles Xavier while he was a fetus.
Yeah. So really, really cool concept there, but they just fucking dragged it out.
I disagree. So
So it's not in movie canon.
It isn't in movie canon, but because
well, I mean, it still
Movie canon?
no,
was it
Or
Xavier
comic
was,
canon?
Or comic. Well, it's not in the movie or the comic canon. Well, it could be in the comic canon.
Well, he never
because-
goes to Israel in the movie, so
No,
it's
but
a
also
side
he's
story.
crippled by the bullet in the spine.
by Magneto,
not
as
by the
opposed
battle
to
with the Shadow
that
King.
battle. That battle that you saw in Legion, that was that was the one that took away his legs.
That's
I
what
didn't-
crippled him in the comic books.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't take that away from the TV series, so maybe I missed that part. But look, from my perspective, I enjoyed
What did you miss?
the Shadow King crippled Xavier.
No,
No,
but
no,
he
no, no, no,
didn't.
no, no.
In
We're-
Legion, he
no, no,
didn't.
No. We're just
Thank
talking.
you.
But in comic book canon, he
Right,
did. In the
okay.
movies, he
Gotcha.
was shot in the spine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
whatever.
from my perspective, I disagree. I thought the pacing was pretty much perfect. I felt it was shot. It was written as a psychological thriller, if nothing else. It reminded me of things like The Cell. It reminded me. It's very different, so I'm not drawing too much of a parallel. But it reminded me of Westworld, where the intellectual writing trumped the action. It was not an action TV series. It's not a traditional
true.
comic book TV series. It's one that you really had to watch closely, and you never knew what detail was going to become important later on. You were trying to figure out if it was real, if it was in his head, which characters were going to do what next. I enjoyed that. It was a very much an intellectual TV series, and it was nice for a pace change. And it was written by Chris Claremont, which I thought was cool because
Well,
he wrote Legion. He wrote.
Yeah,
he's
yeah, I was saying
responsible
that, yeah,
for Rogue, Mystique. There's a whole range of characters that he's directly responsible for.
He's done
Yeah, okay.
mad stories as well. Heaps mad stories.
Phoenix, one of my favorite characters. And he also rewrote a lot of the history in the movies. So giving Magneto the Holocaust survivor backstory, that was all Chris Claremont.
Yeah.
Wolverine was a man of honor rather than just a blind berserker. That was all Chris Claremont. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. And you could tell it was written by a comic writer rather than someone who was writing a screenplay
Right,
based
right,
on a
totally,
comic
yeah.
series.
Yeah.
Which is true, yeah.
And I enjoyed that aspect.
It was really, really good. I just would have liked to have seen. It was at the point where I was starting to wane on the series until the last episode when they sort of brought that in. Kind of like the fucking, the Iron Fist ground punch sort of thing for me. It was just like, nah, okay. But anyway, I look forward to seeing it. Super, super happy with the series. Like,
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it nonetheless. But yeah.
So
otherwise...
We've got the Mountain Goat Attack of the Killer Hops, a Mountain Goat from Victoria, 7.7% IPA.
Fucking
now,
badass.
Big difference in these IPAs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the first one was definitely, I mean, I'll wait for confirmation, but I would say definitely a wet hop, a green hop IPA. This has got that real dank IPA,
Yeah, it does.
that
Super
really
dank.
resiny, rather than that green, almost
It's a more
vegetal
developed
character.
flavour.
I'd say they're both very developed, but this is
It's-
dank. It's a different type of hop for starters.
You get more of the oils in the mouthfeel as well.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what they refer to when they say dank. So, really good. Another really crack.
Yeah.
And I mean, you said this for weeks when you first tried them both, but another cracking IPA.
And man, this is their rare breed. This is Mountain Goat's rare breed as well.
Yeah, so
it's-
this would be done out of the original brewery in Vic, where the Mountain Goat first started. So all the other major stuff's done out of a bigger brewery now.
I'm enjoying it. It's different.
Yeah,
It's got a slight something to it that I can't pick.
It's
in
like
terms of
when
flavours.
when you're talking IPAs like this one in particular, Batch did a really good IPA. I think they just called it the Dank.
well, they did the dankness.
No, it was the Dank.
That's a respectable
Oh,
beer
no.
name.
The dankness is Tim from Hop Dog.
Right. And it's just really wet, really moist. It's like if you put yourself in the glass, it's like a super, super duper overcast day, and
Wow.
there's another 10 people in the glass smoking a bunch of weed, and it's just you know.
I would have likened the last beer we had more to weed with the fresh resin. And
Dutch oven on a very humid day.
It's getting back into a car after
Well
Chris
done,
had a
Mountain
smoke.
Goat. Yeah, that's exactly right. We just had a Dutch oven.
So another good one. Do you want me to finish off my comments on my Supergirl challenge, or do you want to go straight into
please,
Witcher 3?
Nah, do that, man.
Touch on Supergirl. Sorry.
I'd love to hear what you thought of Supergirl.
I still wouldn't be able to watch too much more. I'll go through until I can't stomach it anymore. I hate the sections where she's not in costume doing something.
Yeah.
I've got
eating popcorn and watching movies with her sister
you
girlfriend.
know what? I really
Isn't
tune
that
out.
interesting to you?
I really tune out in any of that. The couple of little minor things that the screenwriters or the director or film or whoever hasn't thought about and they should have touched on. She has her ears pierced.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
poses a enormous problem when she didn't know
They were
anything about
They were
kryptonite.
kryptonite pierces.
Well, she
right?
didn't know
the
about
thing that
kryptonite
you pick
because... and she has a chickenpox scar on her forehead,
Yeah.
which I wish they did an Indiana Jones, like Raiders of the Lost Ark, where he cracks the whip, so they explain the scar
Come
on
up with
Harrison
something,
Ford's chin.
yeah.
If they did something like that when she was younger, something
My eye is
happened
always drawn to that as
to
well.
that. Exactly.
Yeah.
If they'd done,
That's where Chris's eye is drawn.
if they'd
fucking is.
Indiana Jonesed it and had some explanation of her
As to
being
why.
depowered and clocked in the
Yeah.
head and like it healed over before she regained her powers and everything like that. I mean, this is just me fucking
Nitpicking motherfucker.
No,
J-
but it's a good point because
look, Chris,
I always see that shit. That's
you are the
first
nitpicking
thing.
Yeah.
Chris.
And the ears-
I wouldn't question it coming from
The,
you.
the
But
ears pierced is a stupid thing for someone making a comic book TV show to
Yeah,
overlook.
yeah.
it just feels like Dan's trying to find holes because he's enjoying the series more than he thought he would.
No, these are legitimate. These are things you'd pick on in a
Sure.
comic book if they were
Yep.
on. And like when Man of Steel came out, the big thing was how did Superman get rid of his beard?
Yeah.
But they explain it in comic books. He reflects his heat vision off a mirror to burn the stubble off. General Lane was cool.
Yeah.
I thought his portrayal, his real arrogant general portrayal was really good.
Good actor for it too.
For as shit as Red Tornado looked, I thought that episode was actually quite good.
It was fun.
I felt that Red Tornado wasn't in it enough before they deconstructed him. And I mean, sure, they can reconstruct
the
him.
first fight where they had her against him. They
In the test?
No. They were testing her. They were in the tents monitoring, and she and Red Tornado were outside. That to me says that little fight was written from a comic book perspective. Like she was wailing on him. She used heat vision. She used the cold breath really quickly to freeze the arm and then snap it off. I mean, that was someone who'd actually thought about the fight and how she would use powers in a fight against an android. I thought that was quite clever. Manhunter looks awesome.
Yeah, he does.
John looks awesome in his thing. And then the change up of the way the episodes ran after the Red Tornado one was the earthquake where she was depowered. And then that had a totally different feel from the fucking 6 episodes beforehand.
Yeah.
And that was clever. It was well written and then that harkens back to the whole Superman thing about he provides hope. No matter in what he does, people just...
Have you met Superman yet?
No, he doesn't come into like season 2 or something, does he?
There was one episode in season 1 from memory.
Yeah, she passes out and he comes and saves her, and you only see him as a silhouette.
You don't see him.
Okay, so it must be season 2. You can wait for the Caterpillar Man with the fucking Thunderbird's eyebrows. Chris thought that he was cast well. I thought he was cast horror bad.
I thought it was cast all right, man. He was a bit Latino, but he was all right.
Oh, it's not a racial thing. He's a white boy. It's
I'm going to jump to those episodes. See how much I can get through.
You know
the
what?
rest of this.
I mean, and you're past the worst of it. They've settled into a groove now. The arc will start up in full force.
It's not gonna be enough to draw me in to watch it. Yeah,
sure.
I really tune out while she's not doing something as Supergirl.
Right.
And I think the Supergirl parts are written exactly like they would be written in a comic book.
I think you'll
really
find
well
in season 2 there's less non-Supergirl content.
Oh, okay.
So there's the whole lesbian relationship exploration that you haven't gotten to yet. And Supergirl's not involved. Which, whatever. It
Pointless.
didn't bother me. But It was more you don't. The whole cat thing disappears. There's no more fucking scenes shot from the reporting studio.
Okay. That'd be good. Yeah.
Ally McBeal, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Callista
Harrison Ford's
Flockhart.
missus.
Callista Flockhart.
Yeah, Callista Flockhart.
Leaves the series, so you get a whole lot less of that.
Yeah.
And more Supergirl being Supergirl.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that I still probably wouldn't watch it.
Sure.
But
Not trying to convince you to watch it.
I don't
We've already
hate it
challenged
as
you
much
to.
as I did from
Who
bits,
he
bits
has
and
to
pieces.
watch it. This is not a
Yeah,
matter
we've
of
only
convincing
challenged him to watch season 1.
Yeah,
Which was the shit season.
But he's already said he's probably not going to watch all of season 1 anyway. He's just
No.
going to nitpick his own fucking episodes.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, it interests me more. I would not go back to the Flash or the Arrow because of it. But yeah. Anyway,
Wow.
Flash is revisiting
you said
Flashpoint.
Flashpoint, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
And
want to give
that's-
your Witcher 3 comments?
Yeah.
For anybody listening or watching, I love The Witcher 3. I have put like 320 hours into The Witcher
Jesus.
3.
A
I've
waste
played-
of life. A
I've
waste
played-
of
He's-
fucking
he's
life.
Just for the record, his wife
I'm
is
looking
is
at Louise
shaking her
going,
head
a
in
waste of
disgust.
life on
I've-
Witcher 3.
I played Witcher 2. I've played through Witcher 2 probably 4 or 5 times, and it's got to be a 30, 40-hour game
Yeah,
with
wow.
side quests. Probably more, but it's got a lot of choices and different paths, which actually change the way the game plays out. You go to different areas, you interact with different
Choices.
people.
What?
So it does.
You know what?
It does have a... The Witcher 3... The Witcher
Stop
series
selling
has...
it. Well, how
no,
did
I'm
Chris
not trying
go?
to sell it. I'm just justification here. And then I went back to Witcher 1, which was a really hard play because it was an old school RPG.
Yep.
It was very...
Which is probably why I'm keen to play it. I haven't played it. I haven't started it.
Witcher 1's
Don't
hard.
waste your time.
Witcher
I
3 is
love an
nothing
old
like
school
Witcher 1.
RPG. Though.
Anyway.
You're talking Ultima Online.
Opinions.
So, look, I was actually keen to play it. I was interested to play it prior to being challenged to actually play it. But when I started it, it was good. It was fantastic, except for the 45 minutes of fucking cutscenes I had to sit through before I had the first mission of running to point A to point B. And this has been my whole thing with RPGs, man. They tell you can do whatever you want. You can be whoever you want to be, and you can. It's off rails, and it's like, no, it's not, motherfuckers. Like they're tricking you into thinking that. So I have to.
You have to hide the rails, Chris.
Man, I have to chase some little girl to the bottom of a wall, and there's a training mission, and like all the cutscene stuff is great, right? But it went on for about 10 minutes too long. And that's after the 15-minute mark. And I was
The hardest thing
fuck,
is
man.
there's so much lore in there, and coming in third game
There's
through.
a lot. There's a lot. But I don't...
You should wait for the next beer, so you might want to start drinking.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't give a fuck. Like, it just let me play. And then we got into the training. Training was okay, and you learn all your magic abilities and stuff like that, and that's all good. But it was like an hour before I got to actually start playing the game.
I told you.
An hour before I got to start actually fucking playing.
I told you the tutorial section was about 10 hours.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you
what
did say
what,
that.
What happened is when I got to the first group of enemies, and there were 3 fucking monsters, I died. I died because I didn't use all of my abilities and shit. All I wanted to do was hack at these dudes with a sword.
But that's the thing, it's not a
And
hack and
it's like,
slash.
no, you have to use
not
all
Diablo.
of these powers. Yeah,
And
but
it's not God of War.
therein lies my issue with the whole RPG thing. You can
Yeah.
do whatever you want, but you have to make sure that you utilize all of
Well-
this
No, you
shit
don't
while
have to. You
do
just
it.
got to be good at it.
In
Dude, no,
fairness,
and the
you're
other
in the
thing...
tutorial, right? So in the open world, in a true RPG, you can do whatever the fuck you like. You can use whatever is available to you to defeat your
Bro,
to get to the outcome. But in a tutorial, it's there to teach you to use all your shit.
this
you
is
use
not...
all your fucking shit.
This is not a tutorial like any other
It's not-
tutorial.
it's not. It's not.
It is not
the
the
other,
same
it's not,
thing.
the
no.
other part of an RPG that separates it from most other games is it's there to tell you a story. It's an interactive story.
Yeah, but
So the 10 hours is... is
no.
This is
It's
exactly
character
the
development.
reaction I wanted.
I get it. But no. Like, look, all I had to do was kill 3 monsters that popped up in front of me. I pulled out my sword, I killed one and then got nailed.
He's
because
probably pulled out the wrong sword.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. You can't just hit go. You've got to pick your silver sword.
Silver sword or your steel sword?
Or you got to pick the steel sword.
Steel for man, silver for monsters.
And then you have to put your fucking shield thing up, and then you got your explosive blah blah, and then you fucking come at them with a sword. And it's like, dude, man,
The Witcher 3 is more fluent than the others. So the others you would have to...
The others were more shit,
No,
basically, is what
different,
you're saying.
because the others you couldn't use potions and that on the go. You would actually have to prep for battle. So you would go into a meditation, you would drink the potions that you needed to be active during the fight you were going to go into.
I'm already bored.
And then you went into the fight. But this is strategy.
I will continue this.
Oh, you don't have to continue. I've proved a point.
No, I will, because I feel that there is enjoyment to be had out of it, but the thing that actually bugged me the most...
Then you'll start playing Gwent.
...was the visuals. The visuals actually bugged me.
Okay.
The control system, it was so super uber touchy. Like, it was
twitchy.
It was really twitchy, and it wasn't very fluent when you performed your actions and did things. You
get really used to it, but that is one of the biggest arguments people have made, especially in close spaces.
Yeah.
That the way the camera moves and the way he moves, you end up walking into a lot of different... You don't feel like... You do get very, very used to it.
It's like Batman, for example. When you play the Batman games, it's just very
it's a lot more
intuitive.
Yeah, but that's an
cool.
action game. This is an RPG, so it's a totally different ball game. But
it's the same shit. Fuck, whatever.
It's not. Anyway,
I'm going to get the next beer.
Yeah, we're at an hour 20. I didn't really have a challenge. You gave me Alien.
Yeah, we haven't thought up a good one for you yet.
Yeah. I admit I haven't played PlayStation 4 at all since our last recording, so for the last 3 weeks. What I did do, though, was on the back of your suggestion and Chris's suggestion, I went and read, I can't remember which volume it was, but it was Superman Batman comic.
Yeah, I don't remember what volume it was.
4.
Yep.
Where they went through all of the various kryptonite types, which
yeah.
I thought was really cool.
Yeah. And a lot of different variation in that as well.
And the artwork was right up my alley. That's the style of artwork I enjoy. And off the back of... So once I finished that, because it was quite short, there were other stories, but the K-suit was the highlight for me.
Yeah.
It was just an epically badass fucking suit for Superman.
I got to drive, so I can't finish them off.
Dan's
driving?
collecting beer.
Yeah.
And then I went on to read Injustice.
Yeah, Chris suggested
Fucking
Injustice for you. Yeah.
sweet.
He did. It is the best comic series I have ever read. They do not pull their punches. People die.
It's savage, man. It's
characters you
fucking
love
savage.
die. Superman as a fucking bad guy. And he's not a super villain. It's not just balls to the wall, I'm a bad guy now. But he's an evil motherfucker.
He's just had enough.
And seeing him as a Yellow Lantern was cool too. So the suit changes throughout the series. So from Injustice, the original, like the first comic, he starts as the traditional Superman outfit.
Yep.
To the evil dictator at the end of the 5th year of comics. And then he was a Yellow Lantern for a while in between.
Yeah, nice.
Sinestro was like turning him. So he got really heavily...
Yeah, okay, well, I'm going to read this.
Okay, well, I can't say what I was about to say. I'm glad you said that. But for me, the thing that makes the whole series, my highlight was Harley Quinn.
Yeah, you said last night.
She's written perfectly.
Super well written.
And the facial expressions that they've drawn into the comic, she's the highlight for me. I smile every time she's on the pages.
I mean, Harley's one of those characters that, we all get our different interpretations depending on who's writing and drawing all the other characters. But Harley's one of those big consistencies, other than the Suicide Squad movie, which she was pretty close, but not 100% bang on. But she was pretty close. But she's one of those consistent.
Thank you,
thanks,
bro.
Man.
Cheers.
Oh
man.
yeah, well done.
Cheers.
There. That was Chris making that spill.
Yeah,
not
just
the,
had a bit of a spill.
He's in right in front of the camera. Get
Yeah.
on the camera.
You're in front of the camera.
You're in the camera.
You're showing the rest of the world your ass at the moment. That's all right.
You're right, man.
You can't.
It's all good.
Unless you can fly, you've got to walk past it again.
Thanks, Jordan.
Totally lost my train of thought there.
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
Consistency.
Can I just say,
in writing.
even I actually thought that oh god, it was in my head and it just escaped my head. The actress that played, or the actor that played Harley in Suicide Squad, Margot Robbie. I think she did a fantastic job.
I think she did a great job. Yeah,
of walking the line between crazy and crazy intelligent.
Yeah, but she wasn't.
She wasn't perfect. She wasn't, granted, but it's a fucking layered-ass character.
I don't think that was her fault.
Nah,
I think that was
the
restraints put on the writing and restraints put on her as from a director too. I mean, she wasn't as bouncy, bubbly as what normal Harley would be. But that's not her fault. I mean, she did well with what she was given.
But in this comic, I mean, you've got scenes in between where Harley goes and visits Harleen Quinzel, the psychologist that was Harley before Joker fucked her up. There's like a cardboard cutout of her original self, and she's giving herself therapy. And she plays both sides of it in the comic, and it's just she makes the series for me. She is, and in fact, it's written in a way that she felt like almost the plot driving character. It wasn't written through her eyes. It's written primarily through Batman's eyes.
Yeah.
But it's almost her driving events. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I got to the end of Injustice Year 5, and the next series is Injustice Ground Zero, which is the gap in between Injustice 1 and Injustice 2, which they've just started releasing. I think we're up to issue 2. But it's almost a retelling of the 5 years of Injustice through her eyes.
And the one thing that
And it's drawn differently. It's very cartoony. It's But
so you're really looking at it through Harley's eyes.
Yeah, and her interpretation of events and what she's doing when the main story is moving away from her.
Wow, that'll be interesting. Yeah, well, we'll have to get into them. Yeah.
The other thing is that you will benefit greatly if you actually play the game. The story mode of the game. I know that you're not a huge
and I've played it and finished it. As did you.
And it really does set the scene for how.
This is the cherry coconut, by the way.
Yeah. It's very coconutty.
This is the.
I need to do something really. I have to go to the bathroom.
Okay, you go.
You go. We'll continue.
We'll continue. So what do we got? We've got the Four Pines Keller Cherry Coconut Brown Ale. I'll just see if.
While we're waiting for Chris to come back,
the hops in the Four Pines in-season IPA was all pelletized, so it wasn't wet hop.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're all from Crosby Farm.
Can I just interrupt and say welcome back, Suey, and hello,
hey,
Diane.
Hi, Diane as well.
Hello, Diane.
Yeah, nice to have some people logging live. At least we know it's working.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Usually it's Dan with the small bladder problem. Correct, Suey.
Yes, Suey, definitely. But I don't think Chris probably went when he went.
No, he didn't.
For that.
He went out for a dart.
He used his valuable break time for a cigarette instead of.
And ironically, while he was out there, he spent most of his time talking shit with Phil. So I was ready to go. I smoked a cigarette and a half by the time it took him to finish one.
The cherry coconut. Have you tried it?
I have tried it. The jury's still out. I'm not. Enjoying this. It's not a bad beer. It's well made.
It's a nice colour too. I mean, they've picked it's a brown ale, yeah. But it's got that real reddish tinge to it. Just where the light hits it on the edges, which makes you.
We can zoom in on this if you want to keep holding that glass.
We can. We'll give it a go. Why not?
There you go. It's from this distance. It probably just looks like a black cup.
Yeah, well, I mean, it does, but I mean, you can see the reddish around the bottom. We can, but most people can't. He zooms back out now.
I have
He's
now.
playing with his camera.
Such a cool fucking piece of technology.
Why don't you tell people what the camera is?
It's a Mevo live stream camera. So it's made by the company Livestream. It's a cool piece of tech. It's a 4K camera in a micro shell with a Wi-Fi uplink to it. But it streams at 720 because Facebook live stream, a bunch of streaming services only handle 720 footage. So whilst it records in 4K, it gives you multiple 720p views, so I can skip around in preset views as if I have a publishing team or a video team. So yeah,
like I said, this was a guilty gift from about five of us to Pete for his birthday. So yeah, so we could utilize.
Happy
on this as
birthday,
well.
Pete. Thanks, mate.
This
$35.
is really nice.
It's
that cherry character is really coming out in it
does
as
it
well.
not like I get, because I've had this before. It's only available in 10 venues at the moment. I think
it's from their Keller door, so it's
Super
from
limited at the
it's from
moment.
their little 600 litre system in the actual original Four Pines pub. So they'd only
not
been
much
making
of it
10 or
around.
12 kegs of it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's not much out there. While you were gone, Andrew from Four Pines got back to me. There isn't any wet hops in the in that IPA. Just it's all pelletized stuff. So yeah, really good use of hop in that in-season
super
IPA.
duper
Yeah, really good.
intense, man. Yeah.
To have held two IPAs like that next to each other, which were really great but seriously different.
Yeah.
It was good. But
while
this
you were
is-
gone, Chris, Sui first of all suggested that Dan's usually the one with the bladder problem.
Yeah.
And went on to say that he'll give you a nappy for next time.
Oh, fuck off. I just, it's the first piss I've had to take for the day.
Thank you, Sui.
I'm not talking about
Love
since
your
we've been
work.
here. I mean, for the entire day.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Right?
what time are we looking at here, Pete?
We're looking at an hour and a half.
Okay, so do we want to do the brown?
Well, I haven't given my opinion on this beer yet.
You were
is
talking
the-
about it, weren't you?
Does
Oh,
this
no, you
not,
weren't.
do you not get, I get cherry ripe.
Yeah, massive.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
I'm not enjoying it.
You don't like it?
No, it's well made. You can taste
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's crafted well, but this is not a beer that I would choose to sit on.
You know, it's not as sweet as I thought it would be.
No.
I thought
and
it
I
was
think
gonna
if it was a
be-
bit sweeter,
It's the
it'd
coconut.
probably...
It's because of the coconut. So you get cherry ripe, but bounty as well. So it's cherry ripe, but minus the sweetness of the dark chocolate.
Yeah.
I'm just passing this over to my wife, who's going to come on camera to get it.
The coconut of the of a bounty, man. It's quite nice. I like
nice.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be able to go through even a schooner, or like a
Yeah,
whole
that's
schooner.
what I'm
of it.
saying.
You know what? I think I could.
Yeah.
I really like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Lex is giving the thumbs up.
It
to-
has gotten the
Yeah.
seal of wife approval.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I really like that. I mean, we got those couple of Death by Coconut ones and that. I mean,
I enjoyed
this
that.
This is next
see,
level.
that was a lot sweeter for me. That's very dry.
It is very dry.
That's what I like. It's the sweetness in all those chocolate
Yeah.
coconut ones that kill me. As where that's got all that coconut chocolate character and cocoa, not chocolate.
Yeah, not chocolate.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
almost like powdered cocoa
Yeah.
rather than
Or it's got that bitterness
milk
to
chocolate. It's got a real bitterness
It
at the
does.
end of it. I really like that.
Yeah,
That's,
hell
yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
believe we're at an hour and a half.
I
I
know,
don't
we're
feel
at
like
an
we've
hour and a
talked
half,
about anything.
What do we?
I could go on for another hour and a half.
We could, but I don't think we probably should.
Like what should we sort of end on? One thing that I will say, I saw Power Rangers the other day.
Any topic you start, I was about to say, any topic you start is going to be 10, 15 minutes.
All I'll say is Power Rangers.
I will not be watching that movie.
I won't be
at the
watching
cinemas.
it.
Dude, fuck. It's to you guys, it'll be G.I. Joe. Right?
Anybody listening out there, we've got this ongoing joke that we judge every movie Chris said is good against the first G.I. Joe.
Which he loved.
The one with Dennis Quaid in, which
Yeah.
he swore was a good movie and
It's
he
a
really
great
enjoyed.
movie, man.
And
Look,
it's a steaming pile of fucking shit.
it's a shit movie, but it's fun to watch, man. Like it's good
It's
for
not
what it
fun to
is.
watch.
But if you grew up,
It's like watching someone beat dogs to death with
look,
kittens.
fuck you guys, fuck those guys.
So I love how he's gone, fuck you guys, and he's turned to the camera. He's going to talk to the
Solace.
rest of the world now.
Because Sui's going to fucking agree with him.
No, if you ever came home from school and switched on to Power Rangers to watch,
Can you
when
zoom in
got
on him
home,
here and
I
just
can, hang on.
just sell so he can sell this to people?
There we
Look,
go.
There you go.
If you came home from school
Stare
to watch
down the
Power
barrel.
Rangers as like 4:30, and was like, "Fucking Power Rangers gonna be on, sweet as," man, this is something that you really need to go and see. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, there was a lot of shit aspects to it, but for what it was great. They could have done without the hour in between. Maybe the first half hour, the last half hour, and then
Story time with Chris.
all the angsty bullshit crap in between. Fuck that off. But what's his name? Bryan Cranston. Bryan Cranston plays Zordon, the dude in the
disembodied
wall.
head.
Yeah, the dude in the wall. And
Doesn't one of the Rangers
disembodied
die?
face.
what do you mean? Have you seen it?
No.
Shut the fuck up.
Keep talking to the
I'll
camera.
zoom back into Chris.
Elizabeth Banks plays Rita Repulsa, who is fucking amazing, absolutely amazing. She steals the entire movie, and I hope that they bring out a movie just based on
another
her.
movie where the bad guy steals the limelight.
She's badass, man. You had kids in the theater, like small kids in the theater, and
You're trying to sell it to them, not me.
Just Chris, while I've got you zoomed in, right, I need a reaction. So one of our listeners, one of our live viewers has stated, G.I. Joe was crap. Rather poke my eyes out with a blunt stick, so Power Rangers, forget it. Discuss.
That was, for anybody listening, that was a big, deep breath from Chris.
look, I totally get. You know what? Fuck you, guy. I get that it was a bad movie. I understand it was a bad movie, but if you can enjoy it for just what it is, it was purely a popcorn
Enjoy it for
movie.
being a piece of shit movie.
Look, man, I collected and played with G.I. Joes when I was a kid, so it was a really cool thing to see. If that wasn't something that you were into, then I totally get that, yeah, as a movie, it was shit. I get that. I understand it. I'm not arguing that. But you just need to take some things for what they are. What, did he fucking write another comment?
No, someone
No.
has, yeah.
Someone has?
Though Chris is really trying to sell it, he could sell a Segway to a blind man. I like this Facebook Live thing.
Yeah.
Adds a
Yeah.
whole new aspect of giving shit to Chris.
Yeah. But anyway, Power Rangers was great for what it was. And I won't go into super uber detail because clearly not enough people give a shit. But that's fine. It was cool to see the Dinozords, man. It was cool to see Bryan Cranston, who should have been given an extra hour in the movie.
Bryan Cranston needs more time in everything he
But
needs.
they fucked him in Godzilla as well.
Yeah,
You watch
definitely.
Godzilla, he's in it for 15 minutes. Power Rangers, you see him as the original Red Ranger. And he gets nailed and put into a fucking wall. And Alpha, the little fucking robot, that piece of shit robot from the TV series that everyone hated, he's actually pretty badass, man, and he's pretty cool. But all of the suits and stuff, everything, it was fun to watch. The fight sequences were great. You had the cameo of Kimberly and Tommy, the green and pink ranger, at the end of the movie.
Oh, really?
It was pretty cool.
I listened to the weekly podcast talking about the Power Rangers movie, so that's why I've got a bit of background on it. But I won't be rushing out to see that at the cinemas.
No.
I think we should probably wrap. We're in an hour 40.
All right.
Yep.
Fuck it.
So we've got to do all the thank yous.
Yep. Once Chris takes his big mouthful.
Thank you.
Shins.
To everybody. Shins, who I don't know how we'll work it out in the live stream, but
It won't be
you're not gonna
in
have
it won't
no
be
weeks.
live. It'll be in the podcast.
But
not
for the
live.
pre-recorded stuff, you'll be there, as well as we'll be releasing this episode as we do every other episode as well.
Yeah, it'll be a podcast tomorrow night.
Yeah,
It'll come out.
iTunes and
We'll
through
have
our
Shins
website,
on
so
at some stage.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
we will, because he's doing some cool things as well as working on some more music for us. Also, cheers to one thing that we didn't really mention.
I'll get to it. You go through what
You're going to get to it?
I'll get to it.
Okay, cool. Thanks also to Pumphouse as well.
For having us. Yeah,
hosted us here,
Phil.
Thanks, Phil.
which is awesome. Phil and the other guys who were pretty keen to get us on here, so I don't think we shamed them too much by being here, which is good.
Well, although I did ask Phil while we went out for a dart if he'd listened to any of the other episodes, and he said no. So
I bet
he really didn't know what the fuck he was getting himself
No,
into.
he had no
Blind
idea.
faith
He had
in
no
Chris
idea.
of all people.
I'm a trustworthy kind
Okay,
of guy.
we're meant to be wrapping this up here.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brad. Artwork.
Yeah, Brad for artwork, for everything that he's done for us as well. Thank you very much, sir.
Jared.
Jared as well. Yeah, well, why don't you just take over?
You're like a teleprompter.
No, I have to be because he just fumbles for the next
go
5 fucking minutes when we're trying to be wrapping this up.
Well, listen to this kid. Sorry.
No, there's no bleeping out here.
Sorry.
Jared from Zendoke, designing all our branding, ongoing work. Thanks for it, Brad. Artwork, thanks, man. You always do a bang-up job. We've got a bit of a delay in the release of our electrochemical particle accelerator IPA, so we'll keep you updated on that. We'll get it out as soon as we possibly can. We just had a delay overall, so we'll get it going. We've got all the artwork, all the branding. We just need to be able to get the beer out to everybody. We'll let you know how that's going. Pete, any final words on anything?
Yeah. Thank you very much for your ongoing support to anyone listening to us on the podcast. If you could do us a massive solid and drop us a comment, a review, and some stars on iTunes, that would be fantastic, because that's how we get our name out there.
Chris's alcoholism is now recorded for all time.
Posterity's sake. But I think we're approaching.
What's wrong?
We're approaching the 500 mark. So
I'm being made fun of here.
In terms of downloads, you'll hear from us on Facebook and Instagram when we hit that 500 mark. But we're pretty down close.
Yeah, excellent, guys. Thanks for everything. Thanks for the guys that were watching us tonight and putting comments into it. We really appreciate it. So thanks, everyone. Cool.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, these two dickheads.
Thank you.
My lovely wife, who's been sitting over in the corner for the last hour and 45 minutes.
Taking photos. Make love to the camera. See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.